Hi, welcome to this edition of Connections. I'm Christy Naus from the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines, and I am really excited about today's episode. I am here at the beautiful Hoyt Sherman place with its executive director, Robert Warren. Thank you so much for having us. I'm really excited for those that watch this, donors of the Community Foundation in our community, to learn more about Hoyt Sherman and all that you have going on here. So let's start with just a few minutes about the history of this incredible gem in our community.
Great. So Hoyt Sherman, the man, was a founding father of Des Moines and came here to build the first post office, helped put the waterworks together, the first schools, and became a lawyer, and over time amassed a little bit of wealth and actually partnered with Mr. Hubble and B.F. Allen and started the very first insurance company, Equitable of Iowa. And that tower is still here down at 7th and Locust, the Equitable Tower.
Wow. So how did this place come to be then? Was this a home or?
The original mansion was his home, and when he died in 1905, because it had been used as the first Mercy Hospital, it was pretty much an empty shell of a building. And so the heirs came back and they decided it would be too much to restore it and repair it. So they gifted the house and the 5 acres to the city of Des Moines.
Okay.
And the only stipulation was that it always be called Hoyt Sherman Place.
Wow. And then tell me more about the theater and how it came to be.
So the city warehoused the mansion for about 2 years. They did declare the front lawn as the first official city park. And much to our luck, the Des Moines Women's Club came knocking in 1907. They needed a bigger place to meet, and so they agreed to lease the mansion for $1 a year for 10 years. And the trade-off would be they would build an auditorium on the side and an art gallery. So that first art gallery was their very first auditorium. And they became the most popular club in town.
Oh, wow.
With a bunch of tenacious women running it. And so within that 10-year lease, they realized they needed a bigger space. And so Mrs. Fred Whites was the president of the club in 1917.
Okay.
And she said, ladies, we need a bigger place to meet. How about if we build an auditorium?
Unbelievable. It is absolutely beautiful. And the restoration that you've done here, in addition to an addition that you've done here, are really incredible as well. So I'd love for people to learn more about the restoration that you've done recently, sort of during COVID, and then also just the addition and the amenities that you've been able to add to really make this a much more functional venue for our performing artists.
Right. So we realized that the Profit Center was the theater to maintain the rest of it. So the first phase was making the artist accommodations, rehearsal space, dressing rooms, load-in access, additional bathrooms, all of those perks that we needed.
To draw, right?
To draw.
And to serve them well,
and
right?
To serve them well.
Represent the community
we
well.
were getting demands for bigger and bigger shows. Martina McBride wanted to come here, and we didn't have the backstage. We made it work with tents and Band-Aids and all of that, but when it was the Women's Club Auditorium, they didn't need all that backstage.
Right.
They would bring in the who's who of society to educate and entertain the club members, and the 2 tiny little dressing rooms were fine. But as we upped the game with 75 to 80 headliners in the theater, we needed all that. So we did launch, thanks to a leadership gift from the Community Foundation.
Thanks for mentioning that.
Yes, It was our good housekeeping seal of approval to know that we were on the right track to a $5 million 4-phase expansion, which we finished March 7th of 2020, and we're shut down March 17th due to COVID.
Yeah, but you took advantage of that time as well.
We did.
And really did some neat restoration of some of the upstairs bedrooms and things like that.
Right, the 3rd floor of the new addition allowed us to move all of the offices out of the 2nd floor of the mansion. So we moved all of the offices over, and with a leap of faith with our board of directors, we said we can keep the 10 full-time staff working, repurpose to this project, take the mansion restoration 2 years ahead of schedule, the advantage of not as many people in.
Absolutely.
And we took a $1.2 million restoration down to about $700,000 by having all of the staff involved in the process.
I love that too.
Yep.
didn't we all just want to break something up during COVID, and they
We
got
did.
to participate?
My
right?
box office manager in particular, she was the first one to say, give me a sledgehammer.
I love it.
Getting the aggressions out.
Your leadership has just been tremendous to this organization and its sustainability and its ability to serve our community as we continue to grow. So compliments to you for all you've done. And as you're watching this, I hope that you'll go to the website, learn more about the shows that are coming. The website is
HoytSherman.org.
Yep. And so learn more about the shows that are coming, but I'd also really encourage you to take some time and come in and take a tour of this space. The gallery is available, those bedrooms are available, the
theater's
stories
open
are available.
for people to come and look Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, free of charge. Come on down. We've got docents here and staff that would love to show off the space.
Yeah, it's really something to see. Thank you for joining me, and thanks for all you do for our community. Thank you for joining in and learning more about Hoyt Sherman Place. It really is a gem in our community, and our working together over time has shown how we are truly better together in this community.